Chicago Police Superintendent David Brown is approaching nearly 2 years in command, and it's been a rough ride. His tenure has been racked with a soaring homicide rate and weeks of civil unrest in the wake of George Floyd's murder, all while attempting to reform a police department during a global pandemic. Joining us now to discuss all that and more is Chicago Police Superintendent David Brown. Superintendent, thank you for joining us. So first, as we've been discussing, as we'll be discussing all evening, Jason Van Dyke, former police officer, being released from prison today after serving just half of his 81-month sentence for murdering Laquan McDonald. Mayor Lightfoot has weighed in, calling this a, quote, supreme disappointment. Many people, including the head of the NAACP, are calling for federal charges against him. Do you support those calls for federal charges against Jason Van Dyke?
I think one of the best things I could do related to this issue is focus on what really came out of the Jason Van Dyke, Laquan McDonald tragedy. Is this department needs to reform. The culture needs to change. In a looking forward theme of what can I do as superintendent to ensure that the people of Chicago sees this department in a way that's respected, that they're proud of. And reform through the consent decree is one of the things that I really want to convey to the audience is my focus. You know, I have a lot more to share about that, but I'll kick it back to you for follow-up.
Of course. So to that end, of course, when you were hired, you talked a lot about building community trust in order to reduce crime. Do you think cases like Van Dyke being released from prison, does that inhibit sort of building that community trust when we know that there are many Chicago community members, black and brown, who are in the Cook County Jail still awaiting their day in court?
One of the things that I always believe is that trust is so fragile and that it's always with the backdrop of history. So this is really recent history, but there's more history of really broken trust here with the department and the community. So looking back obviously gives us the context of what we all have to focus on in this department, but looking forward on reform and the consent decree and changes that we've made over these last 2.5 years since we've been in the consent decree reporting period, and the way the consent decree is structured is my focus. And, not just, changing the culture abstract, but, how can we have policies that are best practice? How can we train our officers to ensure that they're treating the public with respect? How can we de-escalate situations? How can we deal with mental health calls much better, where we have outcomes that are not tragic? How can we, again, liaison with all the various communities in this city so that we can, in earnest, build trust and have the benefit of people coming to us reporting things that they're seeing in the community, so we can obviously prevent crime, but also solve crime that does happen.
What are some of the reforms you feel like you've implemented over these nearly 2 years that you feel like are making a difference with reducing crime?
So the context of the progress is the structure of the consent decree. It's in reporting periods, and their reporting periods are every 6 months. So I walked in the door in April of 2020, toward the end of April, and we've had 2 reporting periods. The first being 11% compliance, the second being 23% compliance. So the third period was a couple of months in the making as I walked in the door, and we were able to see what the deficiencies were and move the needle very little, where we end up with a 48% compliance with the paragraphs. The following 6 months, the reporting period 4, we improved to 52% compliance, which took a lot of work, changed a lot of people in leadership seats to get to that point. And we are anticipating near 70% compliance in the reporting period that we just ended in December of the 31st of 2021. So not where we want to be. We want to be 100%, but we are nowhere near the 11% compliance in the way we started. And so that doesn't change the culture. The process itself is about policies, training, but the operational compliance with the consent decree is really about changing the hearts and minds of our officers through the muscle memory of training, and improving our policies on a continuous basis to where it really is part of the muscle memory of this organization.
Now, Superintendent, in 2020, when you did come onto the job, you talked about your moonshot goal of getting that number of homicides in the city down to less than 300. Last year, we saw nearly 800, which is quite far from the moon. Do you feel like you have the right strategy to attack those numbers?
So let me make sure that we set history right on aspirational goals of less than 300. New York and LA have less than 300 every year. So it's not beyond the pale that we should expect as Chicagoans a safer city in comparison with the other big cities. But I would also say this, you know, people have just kind of snickered at that goal. You know how many times we tried to go to the moon before we actually made it to the moon? How many failures? How many people believe we would never make it to the moon? How we, this race to the moon during John F. Kennedy's tenure was snickered at because we had so many technological problems at NASA. We had so many launches that just fizzled. And so it's aspirational goals like going to the moon. This idea of a moonshot really came from the book Moonshot, about our, you know, struggle to get to the moon, but ultimately meeting that challenge is similar to my thoughts about this aspiration of why can't Chicago be as safe as New York and LA, or even safer? Who wants to hire a coach for the Chicago Bears that says we can't win a Super Bowl? We wouldn't want to hire that coach. This is more important than games grown men play on a football field. This is life and death. And so, yes, we need to remain aspirational and have the high expectations for our city so that, again, we won't fall short and be satisfied with less than what I believe Chicago deserves.
So when you took over in 2020, you created some citywide crime-fighting teams. This week, nearly 300 officers assigned to that team have been sent back to patrol, where they are responding to 911 calls. Mayor's office said that those teams were seriously underperforming. Was it right to create those teams to begin with, and why did they fail?
So they didn't fail. So one of the things, if you go back to when these teams were created, we were in the summer of 2020. And as you recall, the summer of 2020 was riots, protests, lootings. But one particular incident happened that summer that really gave me this idea of we need to deal with this crisis in a much larger, responsive way, is the Columbus statue planned protests that injured our officers, where people attacked our officers. We were outnumbered. People in the crowd stabbed our officers with PVC pipe. They pummeled our officers with rocks and bottles. They put out one of the officers' eyes. They threw firecrackers at our officers' faces. Officers had broken limbs. It's all caught on video that we played, and it was played across the country over and over again in this loop of video. We cannot put our officers in a position to be outnumbered and harmed because we can't spin up a big enough group to push back and protect the city and protect our officers. So that was the impetus for that large group. It was a crisis moment. That crisis, if you recall, continued throughout the summer into early fall.
So you're saying
that then
those
soon
groups...
after that crisis ended, we were in another crisis of smash and grabs. We had trials of officers who were convicted in Minneapolis happening, where large protests happened. So
those teams aren't necessary
again,
the same way they were at the time.
A necessary thing to protect the city, protect our officers. And as we're unwinding those large work groups, we're getting back to the day-to-day nuts and bolts, blocking and tackling of beat patrol as the priority and foundation for policing. And that is the dynamic of what's happened. I know there's been a lot written and a lot rumored and gossiped about how we got to a large team, but how we got to a large team was because of a crisis of civil unrest and looting. And how we're unwinding that team, we're doing it as respectfully as we can to our officers' work schedules. But the beat policing model is the model for protecting the public that's been a best practice in policing for generations.
Okay. Superintendent David Brown, thank you for joining us. That's where we'll have to leave it.
Oh, thank you so much. I wish we had more time. You have to invite me back.
We plan to. You're welcome to join us.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye.